Today we're going to talk about Clemson and one of the ways that they run draw off of their sprint out action. If you look at Auburn and all those Gus Malzahn guys, they've been running this play for a long time, and they actually run their sprint out this way out of 20 personnel. Out of 10 personnel, they reach everybody like most people would do, but what they do out of 20 personnel is all these linemen, all down linemen right here, they just basically flip their hips once the ball snapped backside. And you can see it right here. Snap the ball, boom. They just flip their hips that direction. So if they were doing sprint out, they'd do that exact same thing, and he'd be based on that end. All right. So what they do here on this draw is once they do this, 1001, 1002, then they zone just like they would inside zone at that angle. Okay. So his running back takes 2 or 3 steps. He's sprinting out about 3 or 4 steps, and he hands it underneath. The running back's going that direction right there. Trying to hold those back, especially if they're flowing over the top. This is a pretty easy way to try to gash them. I've seen this play for years with the Malzahn stuff, and they've made some explosive plays. Right here, again, you can see those linebackers flowing really hard. Looks just like their same sprint out, especially this front side backer trying to slice contain. And right there, they're able to create an explosive play. The guys getting out of their gaps on what's essentially a sprint draw right here with not much action, just trying to get those guys to flow whenever that quarterback sprints out. Here's another look from Clemson running this sprint draw. Again, lines flipping their hips to the backside. Fullback's blocking outside shoulder right there. Right here, this guy ends up slipping inside of that fullback, and if this is happening, they're either not selling that sprint out hard enough, which right here they're really not. That running back doesn't really take too many steps, and that quarterback looks a little disjointed. So it really doesn't look like a sprint out right here. If it really looks like a sprint out, running back take a couple more steps. Quarterback really busting it to get out there. He'll probably try to keep contained, but right here it's not really good action by the backfield. So he's able to slice that gap inside that C gap. Makes it a hard block for that fullback. Fullback, I'm not sure exactly what they would tell him, but I'd probably tell him, hey, block it just like if it was a sprint out, because hopefully they seal it like that, so he's taking contain. If not, we should be sprinting out right there. Should just keep going, because right here, if this guy is playing this C gap right there, he's making a really easy alley. Now that back's there and that quarterback's outside, and even if everything's guarded, they do a good job maybe guarding a smash route or something out here. We've got a lead blocker on this guy, and now our quarterback can run. So that's just the way that Clemson has been running this sprint draw. Right here, they had a little bit of a bust and not really great execution by the backs and the fullback, but you can see how this could be effective and really slow teams down as far as their rush on sprint out. Here's an example of Clemson running this draw out of 10 personnel. Now, they normally run it out of 20 personnel, but right here, again, you can see the line just flips their hips. As soon as that ball snapped, all they do is they pop their feet right there. They're zoning this way. I'm not exactly sure what the count is, but I'm sure it's 1001, 1002. He takes about 2 or 3 steps. He takes the ball to him, hands it to him, basically running inside zone right there with a sprint draw. Right there, it's ended up being a big play. You can really see those linebackers. Well, one comes down in the box, but the other linebacker, he gets out and really isn't able to make a play right there. Freezes those guys, and pretty interesting draw. Here's an end zone view of that same play. And right here again, when we flip our hips, we got that gap, that gap, that gap, that gap. Zoning that gap right there. And right here, they hand it off and are able to get an end zone from the 9-yard line.